Hi everyone, this is Kara Koda. I'm a physical therapist and an independent Plexus ambassador. And I'm so excited because today I'm going to be talking about yeast overgrowth, what it is, how it affects our body, and why I am so in love with Plexus's ProBio5 and why it is so different from other probiotics. So Plexus is an independent company, which means they do not promise to cure, treat, or diagnose any diseases. And this information is my personal research that I have done and not necessarily claims made by Plexus Worldwide. And it's meant to be for educational purposes only, okay? So, yeast overgrowth, what is it? What is it, okay? In our gut, this is our gut, all right, with a lovely villi, finger-like extensions that absorbs our nutrients from in our gut. In our gut, we have yeast, okay? It's called Candida. And we all have this Candida, okay? We're born with it. And its role is to decompose our bodies when we die. And in a second, I'm going to talk about how it overgrows. So symptoms of yeast overgrowth is exhaustion, sugar cravings, bad breath, a white coat on your tongue, brain fog, hormonal imbalances, joint pain, chronic sinus and allergy issues, UTIs, and a weak immune system. Do you have any of those? I definitely did and never realized it was related to yeast overgrowth. So what is that yeast overgrowth? So we have yeast in our gut, okay? I hope you guys can see it. And along with that, we also have our good bacteria, okay, in our gut, all right? And the good bacteria actually act to help kind of keep that yeast at bay. If you want to think of your yeast as a nice vine, you want it to grow on the trellis, but you kind of have to trim it to keep it contained, right? So the good bacteria in your gut are kind of keeping that yeast contained so it's not taking over. But what happens with our poor American diet, antibiotics that we take, we're killing off our good bacteria, and the yeast, what do they like to eat? Dead and dying matter, right? So they eat all that bacteria that just got killed off, as well as sugar, right? If you think of sourdough bread, you feed that yeast for the dough with sugar, all right? If you're eating sugar in your diet, you are feeding the yeast. And when there's nothing to contain it, it takes over, like a vine can take over a whole house if it's not contained. That's what these yeast does. So what happens over time is the yeast goes from little teeny little strands in your gut to yeast overgrowth. It creates this mesh that covers your villi, okay? When it does that, it creates an outer shell to protect the yeast. But when it does that, it affects the absorption of nutrients into your body. Those nutrients can't get through that yeast overgrowth to get into your bloodstream, into your body. So it affects your health. Also, if any of you are taking a very good high-end probiotic but not feeling like it's doing anything, that's because if you have yeast overgrowth, you might be taking really good probiotics, but that bacteria can't even stick because of that outer shell to the gut, to the yeast overgrowth. So what do you need to do? You need to get rid of that yeast so that you're not having those symptoms of exhaustion, brain fog, sugar cravings, where it's affecting your health, decreasing your immune system. However, a lot of people think that through diet alone that they can take care of this. There's called the Candida Diet. And basically what that is starving the Candida. Candida loves sugar, so they take out all sugar from their diet in order to try to starve out the Candida. Candida is very resilient and it's very hard to kill. So trying to starve it out is never going to work and it's not very effective. So that's why I love our ProBio5. Unlike other probiotics, ProBio5 is not just a probiotic. It's a 3-in-1. Okay, so in addition to the 5 good strands, hardy strands of bacteria that are in it, there's also digestive enzymes. So it's helping you digest your food, but there's a digestive enzyme in there specifically to poke holes and break that outer shell of the Candida so it can be killed. There's also an antifungal, which is grapeseed extract, which actually helps kill the yeast. So then with the ProBio5, it's helping to pull the strands of yeast out. So it's helping to remove it. Okay, so over time, if you're consistent with taking it, which I've noticed, that Candida can be removed. Okay, and then you are able to restore that healthy gut lining. Another thing that I forgot to mention that I want to talk about, in addition to preventing nutrients from being absorbed, this yeast overgrowth can actually perforate and cause holes in your gut lining. So stuff that's supposed to stay in your gut is actually seeping out into your system. Proteins from your food that are supposed to stay in your gut are going into your bloodstream, into your joints, different things like that. Also, that yeast makes its way outside of your gut into your body, and it's been linked to many different health issues that you can research. So when it creates the holes in your gut, it's called leaky gut syndrome, and you can look up leaky gut and all the different symptoms and issues that arise from leaky gut syndrome. So yeast overgrowth is a big issue in our health. Addressing it is key to our gut health and our overall health, key to helping us absorb our good nutrients, key to helping replenish the good bacteria in our gut. I've been so excited for what ProBio5 has done for me and for my family, and I would be happy to tell you more about it. If you reach out to me and have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.